Garrick. Can you hear me, Garrick?
Hi, Max.
How about Humiliates du fromage?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Filipino Freethinkers podcast. That's also a video. I'm Red,
I'm Frank.
I'm Talia.
And I'm Pepe.
and today we're going to talk about Father Romeo Obach or Obacho or
Obach.
whatever, the famous priest who berated an unwed mother during the baptism of her son. So here's a link to the video in case you haven't seen it yet. And
It is in Cebuano, so you might have a hard time understanding it, but hopefully something with subtitles will come out.
Okay, but let's summarize what happened. Okay, it's obviously a baptism, and the priest was berating the mother. What did she say? Resident translator.
She did not say anything. From what
Okay.
I've seen, he
Very
said
good.
a lot. Basically, it was a baptism, but throughout the half of it that I watched, 'cause you really can't stomach watching a lot of it if you understood it, is he was berating her for having her son baptized. Like he kept saying, "Aren't you ashamed of this? Like children are a pride and joy, like something to be proud of." But you should be ashamed of what you've done, bringing a child into the world without a father and having sex with a person who's not a husband.
Without a father. He brought them into the world without a father.
Yeah,
That's something to be proud of, actually.
no, without
You
without
mean like
a
Jesus?
husband.
Married
Yeah,
husband.
without a married husband.
Okay.
Yes. So a Jesus thing happened. No.
Okay.
But he was shaming her the entire thing, and you really can't tell from the translation, but the tone was very, very very heavy. The entire place was
Judgy.
shamed. Like the entire room felt
I-
sorry for her because he was very, very mean.
I read that the priest was even like turning to the audience, like, what do you think that
Yeah,
what she
yeah,
did
yeah.
was very Christian-like?
Yeah, it was really, really hard
Yeah.
to watch.
And I read that in an interview with a woman that the baby seemed to understand that she was being
Yeah,
berated.
it was crying throughout the time, and that like she was just attending to her kid just to like block off
Yeah.
all the
Just to
horrible
survive it.
things.
Just to survive
get
the
through
ordeal.
things.
And yeah, and if you even if you were a stranger, like I was a stranger, I didn't know this person. It was terrible to watch. I can only imagine what it felt like for the people who were there, like the mother of that woman and the woman herself. Like it was very, very evil.
Obviously, someone found the need to start recording, right?
I think that was the mother who recorded it. I saw because the original video.
The
that I
mother
saw-
of the woman.
The mother of the woman
Okay.
was recording.
So she
it,
thought
like-
she was recording something that was special.
Yeah,
right?
and
That was
then-
gonna be for the.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was really bad.
I wonder if they'll show the video to the kid when
Oh God.
when he grows
Hopefully
up.
by then when he grows up, he's not a Catholic.
And the priest had a microphone, and the sound system reached all the way to
Yeah.
the perimeter of the church. Even.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the reactions to the video. What have you read so far about it?
Reaction to the video. Well, I haven't seen. I've read very few people saying that. Well, he's right. Although the tone of voice that he conveyed his message was wrong and hurtful, what he said was technically right. But the majority of the reactions I've read and that I share is that this guy is an asshole.
The video has been shared over 20,000 times, like according to one article that I read. There's even a post on a Nigerian Guardian website. So,
Okay.
Nigerian Guardian, yeah, website, if I'm not mistaken, that shows, they're picking this up. It went viral, and everyone knows about this priest. So, they're saying that there's going to be an internal investigation on the priest. What are they
Which
going
is
to
what they
investigate?
always say.
Yeah, they just say,
Like-
okay, yep, it did happen. Yep. Okay.
Was
I
he
see.
drunk? Maybe he had too much holy water. I don't know. But anyway, he's not to celebrate any of the sacraments. I heard, like for
Was
a
that a
For a
sanction?
while.
for a while. I think.
Yeah,
it's-
I think that's just to appease
A slap on
like
the
the
wrist.
people. Yeah, like
yeah,
okay,
it's not gonna be defrocked.
hide him.
Okay, he was
Bad priest.
and that's the
Bad.
point. He was not saying anything that was against the doctrine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Even
the
his
dogma.
okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but it went viral, and that the internet prompted him to write the apology letter.
or to sign
Wasn't
his
it?
name
To sign his
on
name
an apology letter.
on a typed out template.
Here's
of
a
an
link to
apology letter.
or maybe a picture. But anyway, the apology letter was something right out of a template. You know,
Yeah.
there are business letter template books.
It couldn't have been more template if it was like
Yeah.
to whom it may concern.
Yeah,
I apologize for what I did to your son/daughter.
yeah, I am executed.
And circle, like, I think it was
So it's that common. Apparently, it's that common for
Yeah.
priests to berate. Maybe they have that kind of book, you know, apology letter templates. But a lot of people liked it, actually.
The letter.
Yeah, a lot of people said, you know, this is all that I wanted to get from him, to get out of him,
Yeah.
and they're appeased. And I find that problematic. Do you find that? Do you think that's okay? That, you know, do you think it was sincere and that the apology was enough?
Well, whether or not I mean, sure, it would have been better if the apology was more sincere, because as it is, it totally didn't look sincere at all. Like, kulang na lang there was a scale, like, my sincerity is at this level from 1 to 10.
I feel about this
I feel
sad.
this
This much
bad
regret.
about what I did.
7.9 sincerity points.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's not enough. You should take steps to make sure this doesn't happen again. Priests should not be assholes, and they should be sensitive to the situations of the people they're like flocking.
Well, I have not seen anyone who was appeased by it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of my
Nice friends, yeah.
would keep saying, "Hey, he didn't even mention the person's name. It's not like anything was censored, right?
Yeah.
It could have been given to any woman whom he could have offended.
Yeah.
He could have offended 15 other women on that same day.
That same
It's just
letter.
that they didn't have.
They just distributed it.
Yeah, it's just that they didn't have a video camera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
It was too general.
Yes.
It could have applied to anything.
They were handing it out actually at the door.
Yeah.
After every baptism, like, here's your letter. Here's your letter.
Did it even say son or daughter?
I don't know.
Like, did it specify, or did it say child?
Family, I think. You and your
Child.
family or something
Loved
like that.
ones?
Maybe. But
It didn't even include the name.
No
Of
name.
the person,
Like,
yeah.
of
yeah.
the actual people involved. So, like,
It could have been
Lips.
typed out by some secretary from another church.
Apology department.
And then apology department. And then he just signed it at the end.
what I found interesting, apart from the templateness of the apology, was the line that said, like, ways, you know, I apologize for the ways in which I educated
Oh.
Yes.
this woman. The ways. So she was trying to impart education.
Yeah.
You know, the education that an unwed mother is a sinner, you know,
Yeah.
and is to be
Yeah.
not as valued as a wed mother. And unwed mothers should not even try to have their children baptized in church.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
here's-
I mean, nobody. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I mean,
go
what
ahead.
was he gonna do? Educate her so that she could undo it? Like, what are you trying to do? Prevent this person from having given
Birth.
having given birth or having sex? Like, just tell them, okay, don't have sex with people outside of wedlock. We teach the same thing. But what's the point of shaming her? Just so the only thing that will come out of that is that she will feel bad for something she cannot undo. Like, she already feels bad. Someone mentioned that the person, I'm not sure if the guy left her or what.
Okay,
but
some background.
She felt really bad about it already.
that's kind of the root of Catholicism, isn't it? Like, feeling bad for shit you didn't do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, like, repenting your whole life.
Yeah. What happened to, like, who are we to judge? Why does that only apply to plunderers?
Yeah.
Who are we to judge? You know, the infamous line of Pope Francis, and everyone's supposed to play by that now. Who are we to judge? They used that on the plunderers, as
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Yeah.
when the president of the CBCP asked the Filipino people not to condemn the PDAF suspects.
Yeah, like right when, like, at the election cycle, they would say, like, oh, we're backing people who are anti-corruption. Then when corruption comes out, oh, it's linked to the church. Oh. But who are we to judge them? Like,
And to me, you know, that just shows the tactics that the Catholic Church is using now. They're not going to change any of their doctrines. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like that forever. What they are going to change is their manner of imparting the
yeah, there's the
education.
condemnation,
Yeah.
and then there's the who are we to judge. Now I think we're at the Pope Francis cycle, so it's
Yeah.
a little light. And then the who are we to judge cycle, but then with the next maybe 5 years, they're gonna go full circle and, like,
Actually-
exercise.
Actually, the good cop, bad cop tactic already happens right now. Of course, Pope Francis is the good cop,
Yeah.
and everyone else in the Vatican, the Curia, they're the bad
cops.
cops.
Yeah,
Like
so
they're the ones who represents the Vatican at the international meetings when they try to make policies.
and when someone does something bad, like this priest right here, they'll just say, "Oh, but that was the bad cop." There are actually good cops like the Pope. So we're gonna reprimand him, slap on the wrist. He's not gonna baptize a few kids for a while. But then there's always the good cops to look up to. So that's why I think an apology suffices for a lot of Catholics.
Yeah,
It's because they want to believe that the Catholic Church is still good despite all these shitty priests.
And that, I think, is a huge problem. It's become a cult of personality.
Yeah.
Actually, Pope Francis is so cool. He's so kind. You know, whatever the Catholic Church does wrong, we have a Pope that you can trust, that you can believe in, right?
Pope you can believe in.
No, the Pope you can believe in. What are they teaching? It's still the same things. It's still bigotry. It's still shaming unwed mothers. It's still, shaming every other family that's
Demonizing
not
atheists.
the mother, father, and then children.
Yeah.
If it's not like that, then it's wrong and it's less valuable. So these are still the things that I think are wrong and that I think a lot of people should be reacting to. What do they react to? Like some priest who actually wears his bigotry on his sleeve.
Yeah.
If it's bigotry that's in the doctrine and it's being taught, in a very hush-hush way, then it's okay. But if you, blast your bigotry out of, microphones, out of big speakers, then that's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it really has to come from the people who are still in the Catholic Church. Dig into your faith. That's really the starting point. You dig into your faith, and then you find out there's a lot of stuff you probably don't agree with. Kasi a lot of they're cafeteria Catholics who just go to church. It's a tradition thing, just momentum. They just never decided to question it.
Yeah.
But dig into your faith, read your Bible, question things. That you're gonna get far.
The thing is, like I wrote in a post before, they've decided to stay in the country of Catholicism. They're not going to leave. So the most that they're asking from their representatives is to not make them look so bad. Don't be such a bigot. Don't be such a blatant bigot. You can be a, hush-hush kind of bigot, but don't make us look bad. We're going to stay Catholics forever. We're not going to leave. Okay, just don't embarrass us so much in front of our non-Catholic friends.
A lot of priests really use the opportunity they're given, like the podium and a lot of audience, to say things that are just plain wrong and at the wrong times, like a baptism. And at my personally during my father's funeral, the priest went all anti-RH, anti-contraception, and what was that? That was a funeral. Why are you saying that shit? And that's absolutely the wrong place to do and the wrong thing to do. I mean, yeah, the Catholic Church doesn't believe the same things that we do, but why are you just throwing that shit at people when they're not asking for it? It goes back to what we discussed just recently. People who don't believe that thing as same as your church, like what Pepe said, you're gonna disagree on something. Just find a better church.
Yeah, bully pulpit is what you were talking about.
But then again, there are a lot of people who do disagree with a lot of the things their church says, but they stay simply because that's what they grew up in.
Yeah.
Their families there, their friends follow the same belief. And they all disagree. They all disagree with the church on the same things. They all like RH or whatever.
Yeah.
But they stay there simply because it feels like home.
Yeah, like I said, it's their country that they decided to stay in. They want to have a comfortable stay. They don't want to be ashamed of staying. So, and they know that they disagree with a lot of the teachings of the church, but to them, at least they get it. They don't understand that by staying, they help perpetuate the same bad teachings that the priest, Father Romeo, imparted quite publicly on that poor mother.
Yeah, and every time something like this happens, because they're already there and they've been Catholics for a long time, they just accept it, and a little apology, however template, will be enough for them.
Coincidentally, there's another huge apology, an apology from Pope Francis himself. Here's a link to an article about the apology. He's apologizing, I think, this publicly for the very first time to the victims of child abuse.
Yeah, and I saw
Oh,
a
yeah,
reaction
I
of
saw
that.
that.
Like
Yes.
the child abuse victims were saying, don't apologize, just don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
And that it's still happening.
Yeah, it's still
Child
happening.
abuse,
Just stop it.
The cover-ups of child abuse are still happening. And to this day, the Vatican is still not fully cooperating with authorities.
Yeah.
They can give so much information to authorities to help, prosecute
But they don't.
the criminals,
Yeah.
but they don't.
And
You
yeah,
know-
it's what's happening is basically like 20 years ago or as early as 5 years ago, like a slap on the face, and then Pope Francis like, I'm sorry for that slap in the face. While in the background, some kids are still being slapped like again and again. So I'm sorry, slap. I'm sorry about that. Slap.
And notice how long it took the Roman Catholic Church to actually admit their fault in this.
Yeah.
To
Just
actually
acknowledge
acknowledge
that it's happening.
that it happened. That's one thing, and that they were responsible for it. That they were responsible for the cover-ups. That they were responsible for not bringing the criminals to justice and the suffering of the children, adolescents, and their families.
Yeah, I think this good cop, bad cop routine where the good cop apologizes for the actions of the bad cop, it's a bad system. Get rid of it. Like the cops are corrupt. No matter how few good cops there are to apologize for the actions of the system sucks.
But as long as the Pope Francis is there, and he's representing the Roman Catholic Church with his here's a link to how this media person
Yeah, with his
like,
PR
coached
guy,
him.
Foxman.
He's the fixer. He's fixing all of the problems, and he's doing a good job at it. And actually, I hope that not a lot of priests copy what he's doing because it's just
Yeah, it's a bad message flowered up.
yeah.
Makeup on a pig.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode. We're going to talk more about this issue on our next meetup. You can know about the details of that meetup on our website, on our social media channels. Do comment on this video. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you very much.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Arrivederci.